started out. Alright, so today, for the very first time, I'm going to can Chow Chow. I have an abundance of cucumbers from the garden, and so instead of only making pickles, which I did a video, I think about a week ago, I did bread and butter pickles. I'm gonna do some dill pickles, and then I think I'll be all pickled out. So I'm going to take a stab at making some southern Chow Chow and relish. And this nervous energy is because it's my first time and I just want it to come out right. But anyhow, I've got my recipe that I want to use all written down. I've come up with my own flavor profile that I wanted to have. And so, yeah, let's just get started. My very first tomato off of this plant. Oh no. I left it there. No, I didn't even leave it there too long. It just has root rot. I'm gonna have to, oh, I was gonna say I have to get something and cut it off, but such is life. But you know what? I'm gonna cut right around that and I'm gonna eat it. This one, let's see. Might be able to let this one. I really should go get some. I'm gonna get something and cut it and let this one ripen the rest of the way in the house. I think that was one of the last of the ones when I figured out that these had root rot. This might have been one that was left on there. But anyhow, take the good with the bad. I'm gonna start prepping all of the vegetables for the Chow Chow. These cucumbers, which are out of my garden, I'm cutting around the center the way that you see, because I don't want all the seeds in there, and I don't want the softer part of the cucumber. If you're gonna do this, I know a lot of people use English cucumbers and other varieties of cucumbers for this particular recipe, but this is the cucumber I have, so this is what I'm using. So yeah, I'm gonna get these chopped up. I'm doing a nice dice, you know, very similar to your commercial relish. And that's pretty much the same style I'm going to use with all of these vegetables, with the exception of the onion. The onion is going to be sliced. Alright, so I've got everything chopped up. I've got my cabbage, my green tomatoes. Let me show you the finished product here. Alright, so the red bell pepper, the jalapeno, sliced onion. We got the green tomato in there, the cabbage. I'm missing something, but you all get the point. It's all in here, and what I'm going to do is cover this with salt water and do a saltwater brine. All right, I put everything into a bigger container so that I can make sure that the brine covers everything. Look how pretty that looks. I'm gonna cover this and let it sit in this salt water brine for about 8 hours. And being the time of day that it is, probably just gonna well, not probably, I'm gonna wind up letting it sit overnight. Now that I've let it sit in the fridge overnight, I'm going to strain it in this colander. Give it a little bit of a rinse. And being that this is actually the colander for the salad spinner, I'm going to use the salad spinner to dry this all out. And you can see all the water. I'm just gonna do it one more time. I love having this for lettuce. When you bring lettuce in out of the garden, or your greens or kale or whatever, after you wash them, get all the water out of it and then stick them in a plastic bag. And the lettuce will last for 10 days in the fridge that way. So there we go. I'm going to start the next process in this chow chow. I need to cut up some carrots and blanch them, and I'm going to do the recipe. Actually, the initial recipe is out of the Ball book of canning. I'm adapting the recipe. I like to make my own, as I think I mentioned yesterday. When I was cutting up the vegetables to be blanched yesterday, yes, jalapenos are not in the recipe that's in the Ball book. So that's something that I added to make it my own. The second thing I'm adding to make it my own is collard greens. Since I harvested so many collard greens this morning, and I am going to use some for dinner, it's still going to be way too much just for me and Babe. So I'm going to blanch some of those collard greens along with the carrots and use that in the chow chow as opposed to green beans, which their recipe calls for. So let's get started. Everything is chopped up, the carrots and the collard greens ready to be blanched. I have my colander set up over here in the sink with a bowl underneath it, because all of even though blanching, you're only putting it in the boiling water for 30 seconds, I still want those nutrients that are gonna run off of this. I'm going to save it in this bowl until it cools, and then I'm gonna go water the garden with it. So put everything in to the boiling water for 30 seconds. And what this will do is maintain the color of the greens, maintain the color of the carrots, and keep it from turning when it's actually in your mixture, which is the cucumbers and the onions and everything that we're going to mix it up with in just a second. Pretty green and orange. Oh, it's so pretty. And all of this goodness with the bits of greens on the bottom that fell through the colander. Like I said, when this cools off, I'm just going to use it to water the garden. And now that that's done, I'm going to bring 2 cups of water. We're going to do 5 cups of vinegar. That's 2, 4, 5. I'm going to do 4 cups of sugar. We gonna make it? I think so. 3. I should have already had everything measured out, but I didn't. So such is this life. We're gonna bring all this to boil with, here we go, some mustard seeds. Let's see how much, however much I have left in here, that's how much. 1 to about 2. So we're using 2 tablespoons of mustard seeds. And then, let's see, I have to go in the pantry to grab celery seeds. Now that it's boiling, I'm going to add all the goodies. I'm going to add those carrots and collard greens. Onions, the cabbage, jalapeno, red bell pepper, and of course the cucumbers. Get all of that in there. I want every last drop. Gizzard. Add a little stir. Now we're gonna wait for this to come to a boil. I'm gonna leave that up on high until that comes to another boil. It has started boiling. Give this a nice little stir. Just getting all the bits that are up around the top of the pot, pushing them down. And like I said, I want all this goodness, all of it. I tasted the brine just to see if I wanted to adjust the flavor a little bit. I might add some brown sugar to it. Or I might just add a little clove. It's a certain flavor that I'm looking for, and it doesn't necessarily need any sweetness. So as you can see how much sugar I put in here. I want that, it's a hint of spice that I'm looking for. And it might be clove, but I'm gonna let this do its thing for a little bit and then try it out again before I go messing with it. But anyhow, let me turn this down. So I'm turning it down to medium. This is gonna cook for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, it depends. We're waiting for it to get thick. And you're going to want to stir it occasionally, but there's no but. You're going to want to stir it occasionally. I'm going to come back in maybe 15 minutes or so and show you what that looks like, and then we'll do this in like 15-minute intervals until it's the desired consistency. We're at that 15-minute mark, and you can see the vegetables are starting to darken. Not really thickened too much yet, or at least not that you can tell. But anyhow, that's the first 15 minutes. In the meantime, I'm getting my lids. I'm getting ready to wash. These are brand new, so I'm going to wash these with soapy water before I get them into the canner. But I'll come back and I'll show you that process as well. All right, we're at the 45-minute mark here. And we've got a nice thick relish going on. I did help it along a little bit and take 1 cup of the liquid out of here. I will adjust that in my recipe. I have my jars ready. I have my lids ready. So let's get canning. This is a second take because I don't know how much of that was actually in the frame. And I don't have the time right this second to go back and look at it. So I'm actually gonna dump some of this water because it's getting pretty high in there. I've already filled three jars. And the water's already high, so I'm going to get rid of some of it. Alright, so we're going to fill these, leaving a 1/2 inch head space. just wipe around the edge. You don't want any food or juices or anything getting in the way of this sealing properly. You know, once again, this is something that can last in the pantry for up to a year. I will be looking for a magnet. This will make it much easier for me to get the lids out of the hot water. Very challenging with the tongs, but it's what I have, and every time I do this, I kick myself. So when this process is over, I will be online looking for that magnet. I looked at two different local stores, and neither one of them had it, so I just kind of gave up on it. But it's necessary. All right, once again, put your ring on till it stops by itself. And then I go back and just give it enough nudge to where it can't move anymore. Get them back in the water bath. Get this last one out of here. Like I said, some water's gotta. I probably have the smallest canner available. I've really gotta invest in something bigger because this just doesn't fit enough for me in here. I'd love to be able to do more. Being that the process of canning takes so long, it's like I want to go ahead and get as much stuff done as I possibly can. And I can't with this small thing. I'm gonna have to do this in 2 batches. And it's kind of what I get also when I was prepping for this. I knew that I cut way too many vegetables. I knew that I did, but you know, such is life. All right, so I've got my last lid. Into the canner you go. And then what we're going to do is we're going to turn this all the way up. And we're going to bring it to a boil. All right, so as you can see, my water bath has come to a hard boil. I'm now going to set the timer for 10 minutes. All right, so this has finished. The 10 minutes has finished. I'm going to let it sit for like 5 minutes just to give everything inside a minute to settle before I go pulling that lid off. So I've taken the lids off and talk about not strong arming it to tighten it. It looks like I didn't tighten one of them at all. So yeah, the lid just entirely came off of that one. I've never seen that happen. But anyhow, I'm gonna get the rest of these out of here. All right, here's the finished product. I'm just gonna leave these on these were, they were already pinging before I even got them out of the water bath. So I'm pretty sure they're already sealed. But at any rate, I'm gonna let them sit for a couple of hours. Now this one here, I didn't process because I'm actually gonna use that for something tomorrow, and then this one here I'm just going to put in the fridge so that me and Babe can have that. But yeah, so there you have it. Canned Chow Chow. I hope you all will try this recipe. Actually tastes very, 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 very good. Thank you all for watching Black Coffee Gardener. Thank you for sticking around with me on this one and watching Black Coffee Gardener. Please hit the notification bell, subscribe, like, and all of that good stuff. I really appreciate your support on my new channel here on the tube. But anyhow, thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna eat some lunch, and I'll see you all in the next video.